Hey, I guess it's interaction time again. I'm going to go ahead and do another little Q&A, comment response, whatever. Got some pretty good feedback on the last video, so I'm going to go ahead and start throwing these in maybe once a month because, mainly because, okay, I don't receive notifications at all, okay, in any way, shape, or manner, except for text messages and phone calls. I have everything else on all platforms of social media turned off. So when I go to the app that I go to read my comments, which isn't YouTube, I have a separate app for that. It only gives me the 3 most recent. And I notice sometimes as I go through, if I go to YouTube, sometimes I'll look at a video and there's comments on there that don't get sent to the app. It gets kind of confusing. Anyway, I figure I just picked a few random comments and let's see here if I can maybe address a couple things that you guys had to say that may or may not have, gotten any attention. If I can pull them up here. Okay, here's one. It's a week old. It's from my first video about karma. The one that was I actually made it for Facebook first. I did it on Facebook, but I went ahead and uploaded it here. It says, it's from a user named Jackie Nicol. I think that's how to pronounce it. N-I-C-O-L, Nickel. Jackie Nickel. It says, great video. So do we all go back to source? I mean, is there good and evil in this world? So do someone who is really evil, example murderers, do they go back to the same source as the good? Maybe something you could do a video on. I'm not going to do a video on that, and I'll tell you why. I'll go ahead and I'll address this right here, but just so everybody knows, when it comes to the spiritual, like awakening and I hate the whole New Age terminology. I'm not a New Ager. I think New Age religion is starting to become very mainstream and trendy, and that's when you have to be careful, because there's a lot of truth to them and a lot of misleading things, just like every other religion out there. New Age is starting to become the same way. But anyway, when it comes to the whole awakening and enlightenment and whatnot, something like that is in the basics, okay? So I don't spend a whole lot of time in the basic area, like the very first stages of the awakening process, when you're very first starting to come to terms with the illusion that you're wrapped up in, and all of the principles that, it comes in levels. As you go through the process, you're fed information that you're ready for, because awakening is not an easy process. A lot of the New Agers like to make it sound like it's, oh, beautiful light shining and oh la la, and no, it's not an easy process. It's actually a very, it can be a very nerve jarring, very anxious. Like, I mean, you got to think about it. Essentially, everything that you have been brought to believe is being stripped away, and you're starting to realize, oh man, all these things that I've been identifying with my whole life were bullshit. And I got to rip all my beliefs apart and start building them out of something else now. So during that process, there's stages. And this is in one of the stages that I would consider to be the basics. But I will go ahead and respond to the comment after that long introduction. I apologize. Do we all go back to the source? You can go wherever you want. You can go back to the source. Most beings don't really do that because, I mean, there's no point. The source that we are a part of, that we are at source all the time anyway. But it's very curious. It likes to experience and play new games and create new things. So it's really, where do you choose to go? There's nothing in this game that has control over you unless you give it control over you. There is nothing greater than you. It doesn't matter what being it is and what density. the gods, the demigods, the angels, the ascended masters, the soul guides, the Jesuses, the gods, the Marys, all those beings and all those other densities are the same as you. The same source energy as you, playing a different part in a different density. You're just in this density playing a human game. They're in that density playing being an angel. Some of them are being a devil or a demon or whatever. All those densities and all these things, there's none of them have power over you unless you came if you came in here to actually play this game. If this is a game that you like, duality, Earth, this universe, you know, and everything that encompasses this dualistic, nothing has power over you that you don't control. I don't know any way to make that any more clear. And as far as good and evil goes, no, universally, from a universal perspective, no, there is no good and evil. Now, down here, from any given perspective, that's what you come here to do. You come here to experience, and part of that experience is assigning things different meanings. So, good is what you like, bad is what you don't like. Right is what you agree with, wrong is what you don't agree with. Normal is what you're used to. Weird and strange is what you're not used to. Or, you know, say you see a collective of people agreeing on something and then a collective of people disagreeing on something. You might decide to join a bandwagon. Hey, all these people say that this is right and all these people say that this is wrong, so I'm going to join in and play the game with them. It's all this big... No, there's no good and evil. And to answer your question more specifically, basically, essentially what you're asking me is there a punishment? No, there's not. The only person who judges anything that you do at the end of it, Judgment Day, is done by you. You're the one who judges everything that you have done. And you're the one that decides to either come back, you know, and try to make it right or experience the other side of it. You know, the other side of whatever it is you came here and did. You make that choice. Nobody else tells you what you have to do. Like, I don't know any way to go into that anymore. But I'm not here to harp on the basics. There are plenty of other people on YouTube who absolutely love coaching the basics. You know, and good, you know, those people help me out. It's just that with what I got going on right now, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody by any means necessary or whatsoever. I'm just not going to spend a whole lot of time on the basics. But anyway, let's see here. A week ago, Neck White says, "I swear you're my spirit animal." Cool. Fist bump, I guess. I don't know. I don't mind being somebody's spirit animal, I don't think. If that's a compliment, fist bump. If it's not a compliment, I don't know. Let's see here. Thanks make me understand more Aquarius. I was just confused about them, but now keep it positive. Enjoy your day. Okay. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is from a user named Powerhouse. This was 3 months ago. Question: Have you ever felt yourself overwhelmed? Or I'm sorry. Question: Have you ever felt yourself overpowered with negative energy, but you're in a great mood? Almost feels like a leash or aura around you, and it won't go away until you learn how to surrender to it. Just wondering if I'm the only Aquarius that experiences this. That is actually, like, that sounds way too specific. And I know that this doesn't quite make sense, but with something that specific, I would need you, like, right here in the same room with me, honestly. But I'll try to respond to it the best way that I can. Overpowered with negative energy, but you're in a great mood. Okay, so now this goes back to what I said about the other comment about being, you know, right and wrong, good and evil. When it comes to energy, vibration, and frequency, there's high and low. That's it. Good or bad, that's up to you to decide. Everybody always wants to put the connotation of good and bad behind high vibration and low vibration. Let me give you an example. You have two people vibrating. One of them could be vibrating way up here. And this person is what you would consider to be a very bad person. Maybe it's like a really selfish businessman who doesn't like anybody. Nobody likes them, you know, they're really selfish. They don't care about anybody but themselves, you know, you can paint that picture in your mind. Just an asshole, basically. But he's happy all the time, right? He's really, really happy. He doesn't really expect anything bad to happen. He's just happy. He don't care about nobody else but himself. He's happy. He loves his life. Therefore, he's not attracting anything bad. As I see a lot of people, the good and bad thing. This is where it gets kind of crazy and weird. A lot of people sit back and they watch people that they judge as bad having nothing bad happen to them. And people get frustrated, like, how come all these bad things, and here, you got somebody vibrating way down here, but they're a good person. People always ask, so how come that good person keeps having all these bad things happen to them, and this bad person keeps having all these good things happen to them? It isn't fair, okay? Well, the reason that is because you don't get what you deserve. You get what you attract. And what you attract is what you put out there. So this person down here who's vibrating really, really low, they could be a very caring person, very good person, has no bad intentions, very loving, taking on burdens that aren't theirs to take on, you know, worried about every individual person, every individual animal on an individual level, not a mass level, not a big picture level, but every individual, you know what I'm saying? Taking on all this stuff that's not their business to take on. So it has them very sad, very worried all the time, very anxious, you know. That's a low frequency. That's a very low vibrational state. So all they're thinking about now is how sad they are, how frustrated they are, how irritated they are. That's all that's going on in their mind, even though they are a very, very good person. All they're thinking about is how sad, how frustrated, and how irritated they are, and how irritating everything is. And they're focused on the bad people who are doing all the bad stuff. This is a good person, but this is the only thing going on in their mind. Therefore, what they're putting out there is anger. You know, frustration, irritation. Well, that's what comes back to them. They're putting out there. That's what universe is responding to. It doesn't know. Universe doesn't speak English. You can't. Once you get really good at it, I'm sure you can. But just your average person, you don't say, "Hey, universe, I need this," and the universe isn't going to say, "Okay, here you go." That's not quite the way it works. It's, why do you need that? What is it that inspired you to say that to the universe? I don't have this. So what you're vibrating at is, I don't have. But what you're consciously thinking is, I need, please give me. But the vibration is, I don't have. This is what the universe responds to. I don't have. And it just mirrors it. Oh, okay, here's some more, don't have any. Here's some more, no money. You don't have no money? No money, okay. All right, forces, no money going this way. That's what this person's saying, no money. Oh, brokenness. Oh, all bad people. You know, okay, that's what this person's vibrating at. All they're thinking about is no money, being broke. People are liars. People are hateful. Relationships where people cheat on them. That's all this person's thinking about. So this is what we're going to give this person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, that could be the best person in the world, what you judge to be a very good person, very loving, very caring. But if that's all that's going on in your mind, that's what you attract. And this asshole up here, who is not the kindest person in the world to people. People don't like him. Is very selfish, very greedy, you know, go through the list. They're not thinking those things. All they're thinking is, yes, I love life. This is awesome. I love life. I love this. I love that. Love, you know, all they're thinking about is what makes them happy. So that's what the universe keeps giving them. Because that's, do you understand what I'm saying here? So, I know that was like a really weird way to respond to this comment here. But to be 100% honest with you, this comment, I can't really, I don't know. That sounds so specific. Have you ever felt yourself overwhelmed with negative energy, but you're in a great mood? Yeah. It just depends on how you define positive and negative energy. Me personally, I go by high and low vibration and frequency. High is happy, low is sad. Anything else, anything earthly, even though that's a pretty earthly way to describe it, but anything else is, that's very, very up for speculation. It's very subjective. And It's not objective. It's not, no matter how, you know, much it, part of the great illusion is for it to seem very objective, but it's not. Anyway, yeah, that's, let me see if I got any more. Did I pick here? Okay, here's one more. This is relatively new. It's from Starship Fire. This was 3 days ago. That last one, the one I just answered, that was 3 months ago. So, yeah, so some of them are kind of old, but 3 days ago, Starship Fire said, what is your perspective on soulmates, twin flames, and energy cords? Okay, well, now, okay, soulmates and twin flames. Here's the thing. Now, Starship Fire, I'm not 100% sure exactly what you mean by it, so I'm not directing this at you, but I do want to address that it seems like everybody has to put these romantic connotations behind soulmates and twin flames. And I hate to be the burster of bubbles, but it's not always, actually it's quite frequently not romantic, you know, behind your soulmates. Okay, let's just start off with soulmates. Are romantic partners soulmates? Absolutely. But you have so many soulmates. You could say that every single person you've ever encountered in your life is a soulmate, but just for the sake of the video and the connotations behind the word soulmate, let's go ahead as a practical matter and say this. Every person who has made a traumatic, okay, let's just say traumatic. Anybody who's made any kind of traumatic impact in your life, that can be a soulmate. You know, anybody who's ever made a very good impact into your life. Anybody who's ever taken up space in your mind. It could be good, it could be bad. Anybody who has altered your path dramatically, okay, is a soulmate. Twin flames. Oh man, everybody, it seems like, wants to put a romantic connotation behind the twin flame thing. And I'll tell you right now, if you have a twin flame, which not everybody does, but if you do, you are even less likely to be involved with them romantically than you are just a regular soulmate. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this is the way the twin flame game works, which it's not a very easy game at all. I'm going to tell you right now. Essentially what you do before you come here and incarnate, you say, okay, I'm going to play a game with myself. Okay, the little teeny weeny bit of energy that fits in one human body is nothing compared to your larger, higher self. Okay, you are huge. So you take that sectioned off part that is you, and you say, okay, well, I'm going to make 2 people out of this, and I'm going to see if I can meet up with them. You could be halfway around the world from each other and see if you can meet up, okay? But here's the thing. Since you took from the same condensed identity that is you, you took your energy and made 2 people out of it from the same individual, I don't know how to word that, from the same soul, okay? I'm going to make 2 people out of that. So, first of all, if you meet your soulmate, when you do, the connection is so intense, it'll probably stun the both of you first before anything. It's, you know, I know a lot of people like to put this fluffy fairy tale thing behind it, like, ooh, it's gonna be so sensual. And no, actually, when you're really playing a real twin flame game, the energy is so intense, it's probably gonna shock the hell out of the 2 of you first before anything. It's gonna be so unexpected. It's very typically a strange way to meet the person. Like, not your normal average, you know, hey, standing in line at the grocery store, got to talking to the lady behind me because we happened to grab the same cereal, and then we just had a conversation in the grocery line, and turns out we have lots in common, so we decided to start dating. It's not going to be like that, okay? There's going to be some weird, not normal, you know, things surrounding how you meet the person. And then when you do meet them, the energy is so intense that, first of all, it shocks the 2 of you, stuns you. Y'all are both like speechless. You don't know how to react to it at all. And second off, and this is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, the energy that it puts off when you two are around each other is so insanely intense that almost nobody around you reacts to it very well at all. It puts off an extremely disruptive vibration. Bam! And in these low frequencies here in this 3D game, energy that gets too high, people a lot of times don't react to it very well at all. So you will have so many people like trying to break it up, trying to like mess it up. You know what I'm saying? People don't like it. If you're a twin and you're around a twin, it quite frequently isn't very I don't know. It's just all these people out here, so many different, you know, oh, it's going to be so beautiful and oh, the light shining down, you know, like some fairy tale. And I guess it can be, but I wouldn't hold that, you know, expectation to my heart. If you have a twin, it's like I said, quite frequently, it's an extremely difficult game to play. That's why not many people play it. Not everybody has a twin flame, you know, and it's a very difficult game. If you do have a twin, you meet up and you all decide to work it out, yes, I'm sure that energy has to be so insanely intense that I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine, you know, I couldn't imagine that. That would just be out of this world. That would be like something beyond anything, you know, any normal interaction to have a relationship with your twin flame. But it's not very, like I said, it's not very common. You know, it's not every single person on this planet has a twin flame. Okay, every entity that came here to this planet did not say, okay, well, I'm gonna split myself in two, so that basically divides the population down in half. That's not, no. Like I said, if you don't have a twin flame, that's not a bad thing. I wouldn't consider that as a bad thing, because that means that's probably less of a burden on your life. You know, those who do come here and play the twin flame game, it's not an easy connection to have with a person at all. It's not easy. And you very well may end up wishing you didn't play the game, and you might not do it the next time you come back, because it's not an easy game to play. Okay, so anyway, energy cords. I'm not sure what you mean by energy cords. I will go ahead and speculate on a couple things. Are you talking about? Okay, first of all, you know we're all connected, right? Every last one of us is connected by energy cords. Strands of energy connects every single person and everything on this planet is connected. But can one particular energy cord be focused on and amplified and be a more heavy-duty conduit, you know, to a stronger frequency? Absolutely. You know, if you really, really focus your intention on this particular connection being you know, shooting more energy through it or receiving more from it, absolutely. Okay, you could be talking about your astral body. That's absolutely, there's absolutely an energy cord connecting your astral body to your real body. Yeah, absolutely. Whether you're astral projecting on purpose or whether you're just asleep at night and your astral body's off playing games somewhere, but you know, whatever. Yeah, there's an energy cord, and I've heard people say that it's silver. I don't know. I've never paid attention to it, to be honest with you. But I've heard that it's a silver energy cord. Who knows? Anyway, that's let me see. Matt David said, I'm Aquarius and I approve this message. That's cool. Appreciate it, Matt. That's about it that I can think of that I haven't really reacted to, you know, didn't really interact with. Like I said, I know that I'm not like, I only have like 700 or 800 subscribers on here, you know. I most certainly can't talk like some of these people who have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but I do get quite a bit of interaction, and I have a pretty busy life, so it is difficult to keep up with all of it. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, even though I don't have the biggest audience in the world, I still do appreciate the size of my audience. This is the biggest audience I've ever had. And yeah, when I get 100 comments on one video with the busyness, I do have a life, by the way. I do, you know, have a very busy life, have a lot of things going on. It can be hard to keep up with sometimes. It can be very hard. And Facebook Messenger, oh my God. All day, every day. So I turn notifications off there. So that's why about once a month here, I'm going to go ahead and interact with you guys like this, try to pick some comments out, you know, that seem worthwhile that I maybe didn't respond to on here, and try to address them in a video. Anyway, oh, okay. I forgot. Before I close the video out, I'm going to go ahead and tell you one of my plans for the future. Somebody, well, not somebody, but a few people in the last couple of weeks have asked me if I read tarot cards. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Here's the thing, though. It seems like tarot reading on YouTube is a bandwagon, and I hate bandwagons. So I'm in this internal mental battle, and I have been for a couple of months. I just haven't said anything about it as to whether or not to bring tarot to this channel. There's a big part of me that says, yeah, absolutely. And there's this other part of me that's like, hell no, man. That's what everybody else is doing. So I'm in an internal mental battle as to whether or not to bring tarot to the channel here. So I figure I'll bring that to you guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if I should bring tarot to the channel. If I do, it's not going to be for a minute. It'll probably be about fall before I do that. Could be sooner, I don't know, but it's not going to be anything that I do right away. I figure I'll go ahead and bring that to you guys. Let me know in the comments down there if you think that I should, you know, bring tarot to this channel. Like I said, it feels like a bandwagon. But I have two things going on the inside. I can't figure out which one is my intuition and which one's not on this one. There's just one saying, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then there's this other part of me that's saying, "No, man, that's a bandwagon. Don't get on there and, you know, try to copycat off everybody else, you know." And but, you know, just let's just say that I do it. It's not going to be like your average tarot channel. You're definitely going to get it's going to have a different flavor to it if I do it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. Tomorrow and the next day are my 2 filming days. I'm going to talk about the eclipse a little bit. That's coming up. That's going to be a big thing. That's going to be huge. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And for now, though, I'm going to go ahead and go. So I'll see you guys later.